it is. And why don't they listen to you? But maybe we should be the voice, and maybe part of the leadership should come from us. So that's what we tried to do, and we're going to keep on doing this, by the way. I see there might be a change today for different portfolio at the provincial level, but we'll see what happens. One of the things that we have heard repeatedly, I know when I was the chief of police, I used to go to Edmonton quite often and deal with justice, solicitor general, and whatever, but one of the comments I heard from a lot of elected officials at the provincial level is, Medicine Hat, you don't need our help. You got lots of money over there with your energies, with whatever it is. And that's one of those things you have to understand. We got the same challenge as everybody else. On the tax side, communities receive 7 cents on the dollar. Of all the taxes you pay, 7 cents goes to your community, municipal level. We have the same challenge there. You can't ask the energy to pay for all the things that are on the tax side as a requirement. Granted, there is money that has to go there, and we want to go and put it there, but you can't depend only on that. So, to hear those comments when you go to other places to say, well, Medicine Hat, you're the chosen one in this, in this province, I don't think it fits the bill, because we have the challenge. It costs us as much to buy pipes here as it does anywhere else. I want to move to solid waste collection bins. We invested quite a bit of money in 2009. Personally, I remember when I left Regina to go down east in the transfer, that was in 1991. We have had bins, the same type of bin, maybe a bit smaller in Regina, for several years before I left. So, almost 20 years later, we're moving to bins. There is a sound decision on having these bins. There's been some complaints, but you know what? Very, very few complaints. And I understand some of the complaints that we all do, actually. Because some of them in their backyard, on their fence, they made an indentation in the fence to put the previous containers. They can't do that today with this one. It has to be free-floating so that the machine picks it up. We've invested a lot of money. 20,000 units have been put out for your, for picking up garbage. We've had all kinds of open houses. We've tried to do the best we can to present it. And like I said, very few complaints and a lot of positive comments. Bottom line to this thing is that it is safer for our people and safer for anybody else that's out there. And it's cleaner. We got to remember we live in the prairies. When the wind comes up and you get these old plastic bags that were ripped and everything is flying around papers because the wind is carrying it everywhere, our dogs were into it. It's more effective. You pick up the whole thing. It's progressive. It's cheaper to you. You don't have to buy, you technically don't have to buy any garbage bags anymore. Dump it in. We're going to pick it up. So there are things. Now the second phase will be going in the spring, and that is the one where we're going to pick up yard waste. So grass clippings or branches or whatever you would have put in the previous system into paper bags. That will be for composting, and so there'll be a lot more communication on this one here. So personally, I'm pretty happy to see these bins out there. And although some people might find them inconvenient, it's still the best way to go. Finley Bridge, very quickly, it's going to open Friday. I asked my commissioner of D&I, I said, how many times are we going to extend this? But so Friday. I've had two ladies who work at the bank at the CIBC downtown have been after me because they live on the other side and they walk to work. So now they have to do it. So I told them, as a matter of fact, when I stopped at the bank this morning, I said Friday. So anyway, progress. By the way, I don't think any one of us would have expected that we built the bridge. And if you remember in October we had a snowfall, and they were on bare metal in quite a few places. And right after the snowfall, they cleared the snow, but the rust had restarted because they had sandblasted. It wouldn't have been very wise to go and put paint over rust. So if you're going to do something, you got to do it right. I know there's delays to it. There was delays when they started to get cold also for pavement, but we're there. And in the spring, I think there's a last thing we'll have to do, but it shouldn't take very long, and that will be to pave a second coat at the entrance and the exit to the bridge, just to make it smoother. But it'll be able to drive on it Friday. South Boundary Road, This was a project that started out in 2008, finished in 2009. South Boundary Road is actually something in preparation for an IDP, which is an intermunicipal development plan. There's quite a few people who would like to build just south of us. But what happens with this is it will take a lot of pressure off of Strachan. A lot of people want to go to Home Depot area or Walmart, wherever, be able to use the South Boundary Road. It's fully serviced with all the new pipes and everything else, and ready to go, nice, and really happy it's over. But it was a good project, and quite a bit of money actually went into that, but it had to be done for the future. By the way, there might even be some development starting further as you go towards where the dairy farm was in the near future. So that boundary road is ready to go. Dunmore Road is synchronizing of the lights. I know there was quite a few people asking about that. We've done that, by the way, but it's not complete. What it is now is the lights are synchronized for 7 to 9 in the morning and 4 to 6 in the afternoon. We want to have it better than this. Now you got to remember one thing. Anytime the light changes at an intersection, you can't have 4 greens. 2 will be red. So understand this. But we can do a little bit better job than what we've done. We need to implement some technology into the boxes to take it to the next level and to have it running all day. So, but that doesn't mean you won't get a red light on Dunmore either. We're a city. The next thing I want to just talk briefly is we did a Parks and Trail Master Plan. We had a lot of people, about 500, maybe a few more than 500 people that contributed to our trail system. What we've got, some of the things and recommendations that they put forward, it's into a master plan that has to be finalized, but I think the trails is one of those big assets we have, and sometimes we disregard this, but a lot of communities don't have it. And some of them that come to visit and they see the trail system, we've got, I think, about 96 kilometers of trail within the city. You can almost go anywhere you want. Great asset for the city. Transit improvement. We've changed quite a few routes. We're not operating on weekends, which is good. I mean, limited hours for Sunday, but still. And I think there was a few holidays, maybe one holidays only that wasn't operating. I think Christmas was the only one that wasn't running. But a big improvement. We still have some more improvements to do on this one here. I know, I don't know if Richard Seifert is here. Is he here? Richard? No. He's the general manager for a transit system. I got the information, and I get this all the time from different places about buses and more effective buses and whatever else. And I passed the message on to Richard, and I had several conversations with him. I said, Richard, are you on top of this? And this guy, he knows the business. Because I said, shorter bus, less efficient, or is it more consumption on fuel, whatever it is, and dependable, he knows. And it really was a good, I know you probably didn't get a chance to speak with him, but this guy's on top of business. He was doing this before he came here, by the way. And so keeping our public transit system has to be a high priority. It would be nice to actually increase the ridership also. Now I want to talk about 2010 projects. One of the things that we have on our plate is to do a municipal development plan, and we'd like to do it for the next 30 to 50 years. Pretty hard to try to plan 50 years, let me tell you that. Particularly if you don't know the answers today, what we've got, and like I said before, water, roads, what kind of business will be here then, what kind of people will we have. If our goal is to have 200,000 population or whatever it may be, how do we get that? But it's one of our goals. Will it be different? Will it be? Will we have more solar energy or wind energy contributing to our grid and things like this? These are the things that you all have to think about. But it's one of those things that we are determined to try to get the right answers. We're still seeking some information on this before we can proceed, but we've already had one meeting to address the direction of where we think council should go on this one. One of the things that's going to happen, again this year, bike lanes. we're putting a lot of emphasis onto our people to make sure that the college area is served better than what it is with identified lanes. The reason is there is a lot of students there that use bicycle every day, and some of it can actually tie into some of the trail system that we have. So it's pretty important that it developed. We've had criticism, and people are having a hard time accepting that there's bike lanes in Crescent Heights. But the reality is, you go to other communities, there's cities, and you're going to find bike lanes almost everywhere.